Thank you. All right. Well, I hope you guys see the pattern. All right. I hope you guys recognize the pattern. The past couple of days, including today, whenever I left the building, exited the building, there was always white women. No other group. No black woman, no Hispanic woman, no black man, no white man. I can tell you when this is being done repeatedly and repeatedly, it is psychological conditioning, is covert warfare. With the subliminal messages being sent, it is one group of people manipulating another group of people and doing so because they can. But as Dr. Amos Wilson said, we have to muster up the bravery and the courage to stop them in their tracks. Meaning that when they engage in psychological operation against us, we have to defend ourselves. Right? Yep. Another white woman. And you say, why? How come? Like, what's going on? Right? I'm telling you guys what's going on. I'm showing you guys what's going on. It is not a coincidence that this is happening. You know? Until we start to realize our true reality, then, this is going to continue. And not only are they going to do this to the next generation of young black men and women, okay? But they're teaching their young people to do the exact same to our young people. And the Negropeans, the younger generation of Negropeans, are being taught to do it to each other. So we got to understand what is going on, and we got to put an end to it and a stop to it. We cannot continue to hear the sirens. Yeah, we got to put a stop to this. There lies the manipulation. Let me give you an example. So I was upstairs, and usually when, like I'm eating candy, there's this action that happens. Like, let's see, your mouth is, when you're speaking too much, your mouth is dry, you got to wet your mouth. They're using their sirens. And I'm saying to myself, okay, they've been doing this so many times, I never really thought about it until today. You ever see in the movies when they talk about interviewing a suspect and they can show certain signs that this person is guilty or not? Right? Let's say if your throat is dry because you're talking, your throat is dry. Remember, they're not giving you no water, anything to drink now. You will automatically do that because you need water in your mouth, right? Doesn't mean that you're guilty of anything. But I want you to understand how they make up shit to justify the shit that they do. Okay? And so when I do that, they're constantly using their sirens. And it dawned on me today, and I said, yeah, when you look at those television shows that interview suspects or what their suspects do, they say that he's guilty. That shit is, you got to understand these people, how they manipulate us. How they create these junk signs out of thin air to justify what it is that they're doing. Okay? Even when they're engaging in lies, even when they know the individual is innocent, right? They will still maliciously prosecute someone, and they will still maliciously, they will even manipulate witnesses. It's incredible. It's incredible. It is. But you got to understand the reality. Like I said, we got to fight back in every single way. As Malcolm said, by any means necessary. Yeah. Anyhow, I don't have my image stabilizer on. I wanted to do this because I wanted to show the patterns of whenever today, particularly today and yesterday, when I exit out the building, there's, usually, like I said, when they use a particular group of women, and sometimes it'll just be, the Negropean women, right? Sometimes it'll just, like I said, learning how to recognize what they do, particularly in my targeting and exposing them. All right, that's why, like I said, I'm going to continue to document and expose it. So I'm going to pause the video. Actually, you know what? There's no one out here right now, so I can. When I get to the bus stop, I'll, you know, look. Is that my water? Hold up. Wait a minute. Is that my water bottle? Okay, I got my water bottle. Okay, there you go. Wait, let me. You know what I gotta do whenever they do shit like that, right? Whenever they do shit like that, look what I do. Hold on. Hold on. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. All right. Again, left there deliberately. That's why I carry one with me. That's why I carry one with me too, because I know their tactic. So let me refresh in terms of how they use the water bottle in my targeting. Oh, look at the perfect. I thought I saw somebody standing there, but I wasn't too sure. As soon as I just saw the person just walk up the sidewalk. They were standing in the middle of the sidewalk. All right, let me get back to what I was saying. Early on in my targeting, when I would, after a heavy day of targeting, I would go home. Oh, dog doodle. Jeez. They would leave water bottle on the, what do you call it? Oh, here you go. Light skin quiches. Good night. Smile at me too. Saying hi. Wow. No, thank you. Right? There you go. Right there. Right? So every night when I come home from work, they will always leave at that time I wasn't recording because I really didn't know what was going on. They would leave a water bottle on the and I forget what you call those things. How the hell I could forget. Don't use your sirens. I can't remember. No thanks to y'all motherfuckers. Alright, illegal implantation. Alright, attacking with cotton. Okay, no. You sure? Yeah. Alright, man. Thank you. Alright, good night, my brother. What do you call that? Shoot. Anyway, I can't even remember right now. But anyway, every night they will leave a water bottle there, right? Sometimes they'll leave a water bottle on the traffic signal. All right, look, hold up. In your approach to the apartment. All the stage things, you know, all these stage shit that they do. Remember, I talk about how they will, them and their civilian, their cult, destructive cult civilian agents. Look at him getting out the car. Look at him getting out the car. No, normally they don't get out the car, right? You didn't hear them say anything about getting out the car, but he gets out the car, right? Okay. Look, like I said, you know, they're pulling you over. You sitting in that car seat, and they walk up to your window, and it's cold out here. He getting out the car though. It's all stage. This precinct is there. This precinct is there. 67 precinct is the car number. 4082. Yeah, look at him. They're full of shit. They're full of shit. Like I said, that's why, you know, that intimidation shit don't work with me. See, still going home. Still going home. Right? Still going home. Yeah, so when I said the sign, you know, the walk sign or what have you. So they would leave water bottles there, and I would, you know, and they would use they'll hijack my consciousness to look up, and I would see it. And then you know, they will use their sirens. That is how pervasive in terms of what they used to do in my targeting, right? And I talk about how they would use particular lights. So right now they have their red lights on. See that? Okay. Now, what the hell are they doing? Look at them. What the hell are they doing? All right, what the hell are they doing? But anyhow, yeah, and then also, like I said, I get to my apartment building, and you know, they would put a water bottle on the geez, what do you call? I forgot, man. Let me tell you. Like I said, you know, when I talk about their fallacy, because I study what it is that they do, and how they try to, you know, say that, oh, we haven't caused them any sort of cognitive harm or any sort of psychological harm. You know what I'm saying? I don't gotta pretend or act like, you know, I don't remember shit. Because that's what they were trying to do to me, trying to use Pam in order to engage in that manipulation, particularly when they, like, I'm coming over here on the weekend, there'll be a lot of police presence, and then I get upstairs and, you know, ask Pam something, and she's like, I don't remember. Everything I ask her, I don't remember. You know, and Ethan started doing the same thing too, right? And so I'm like, listen, I don't got to play those games. But again, that's them manipulating their mind to try to manipulate me into, you know, acting as if I don't remember certain things. I try to remember certain things. I don't have to pretend, because if I already, listen, like I said, I study the effect of what they've done to me and the harm that they cause. So that's why I don't get upset for if I forget things. I don't get upset if things is right in front of me, and because I'm being heavily targeted, I can't see it. No, like I said, there's certain methods and tactics that I've developed when that happens, which is to close my eyes for a minute or two, and then open my eyes back again, and then I'm able to see it. And I taught the same thing to Alda. You know, she went through the same thing, and she's like, you know what? Yeah, it helps, because when they are targeting you, it disrupts your brain signals, right? When you look at what, like hypnosis and what they do, hypnotists, and how a hypnotist can do things to you using words, can manipulate you, can sync both your brain left and right hemisphere, so your consciousness is in trance. And so you cannot see what he doesn't want you to see. You cannot hear what he doesn't want you to hear. You cannot feel what he doesn't want you to feel. You understand? And they can do the exact same thing, not only from BCI, right, brain computer interface, but also through silent sound, radio wave, microwave frequency, to manipulate our minds. Right? And listen, this is highly classified stuff that they're not going to admit, because then if they admit it, then it's, what does it say? Not only is it proven TI's right, okay, but it's also proven the fact that they've been manipulating the public with these technology. All right? Now, here's my theory in terms of why the Trump administration is actually admitting and literally putting out front directed energy weapons. Because they know that they've manipulated the public to the point where the public ain't gonna care. You know, I talk about the declassified document from the CIA on Russia, what they call bio frequency weapons. What's it called? Biofrequency? Biogenerators, right? Which is generators that they place all over Russia to emit radio wave and microwave frequency signal to manipulate the minds of the Russian people. And this is why the journalists in Russia at the time said that not only are the West using these weapons against its citizens, but we just realized that we're also victims of this by our own government, our own country, right? It's called offensive weapons. No, I'm sorry, yeah, is it offensive weapons? Yeah, I think it's called offensive weapons, okay? And it talks about the zombify, using hypnotism, psychological manipulation, and using various psychological tactics, alien abduction, that sort of thing, to create mass frenzy within the American people. They've done it in the past. They experiment on almost everybody. Okay? So what we gotta understand here is how and what it is that they do. Oh yeah, they're still out there. They're still out there. Like I said, as soon as I cross the street, he turns and they pull him over. Well, they pull up behind him, I should say. And I tell you, it's the illegal surveillance, right? And how they try to mask it. And this is one of the ways in which they would mask it, right? To make it look like it's a legitimate stop. You understand? See, when they condition you, they don't got to do certain things to you anymore. Just the presence of you seeing them there and what it is that they do, particularly at the frequency and the intensity of the things that they do, you get to understand. Like I said, there ain't no fear in me anymore, because you are never going to get me back into that fight or flight phenomenon, right? I'm going to always be in the fight. Always. I'm consciously aware of what it is that they do. So even though, no matter how I feel emotionally, right, you're never going to get me into that flight phenomenon. I'm going to always be in the fight. And I'm not changing that. Okay? Understand that. I'm not changing it. So until black people begin to understand and recognize what's going on, you know, they're going to continue to be used to destroy the people who really cares about them. You know, there are times when I become thinking, like, what the hell was I thinking? Saying to myself, I want to create a business to hire black people because of the unfair treatment that I saw, not just for my own experience, but for other black people. And, you know, like I said, we're heavily surveilled. And when they listen to us in our private conversation and see our mindset, particularly mindsets like that, any black person that loves black people enough to want to do something, they attack them. Dr. Umar Johnson is a perfect example. He's a clinical psychologist. Even him don't even understand what cognitive warfare is, because I never hear him talk about it. You know, so you can be brilliant in one area, right, and be totally ignorant when it comes to many different areas. And what he should be talking about, and I did, I'm not sure if I sent him information, but there are other YouTube channel of content creator that I actually sent information to, right? Because normally when I listen to their content, and it's like, y'all don't have a clue of what it is that y'all talking about. Y'all just talk the talk. Okay, but understanding and having information is key. You know, like I said, you know, I may talk about my people, but I understand why we behave the way that we behave. You know what I'm saying? I understand that. And I always say, I said, you know, you can't really blame them because of cognitive warfare. But that doesn't mean I can't get upset that I'm being attacked by my own people psychologically because they're being manipulated. Of course, I'm gonna get upset. Like I said, the one thing that they're not gonna, and what they're trying to do to us is to have us have no emotions at all. You understand? And there's a reason why, because then that way they can come and do whatever we want to do to us, our family, you know, our sons, daughters, mothers, fathers, sisters, brothers, what have you, friends, what have you, and have no emotions, or be totally indifferent. This is what they want. And you got to understand their mindset. Yeah, you're a Predator Department, and you got to understand their mindset and who they are. You know, so right before I was leaving the house, like again, they sent me these subliminal death threats. And of course, they're going to be like, well, you know, there's no proof of that. Yeah, when they're using silent sound, when they're using, you know, psychological operations, for example, from watching a video, and the video may say something about, you know, somebody may, you know, in the video or commercial, and they may say certain things, you know. Like, for example, I'm watching an example of a budget PC being built. And, you know, it's like, you know, you get 100 and something in Assassin's Creed, and they imagine, as soon as you say assassin, they start using the car horn, right? So any mention of certain words, they'll use the car horn. While I'm watching something, while I'm reading something, that's how they do it. That is how they condition you, right? That's one of the methods, I should say. You know, like I said, I'm going to expose everything that they do. I'm going to expose it all. Go ahead. You get back on the bus?
Go ahead.
Go ahead, man.
Go ahead.
We're gonna be standing
Go
here.
ahead.
You are the lady. There you go. I catch the other bus. We'll see. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Is she cursing? Is she? It's stubborn as hell, man. Stubborn as hell. You trying to? I'm like, go ahead, you know. But then they complain that there isn't any gentlemen and this and that. I face it all the time with these women. Yeah, I leave them alone.
Yeah, look at them. Like, it's them both, yeah. Why they put on and say, yo, my girl, just avoid, man. But I say, oh, no. I don't know the about that now.
Yep, and they're cursing at me too. I tell you.
I'm more like I'm going to disturb on it. When I disturb on the word, who am I going to
Yep.
I better not go on the bus now.
They keep pointing at me. It's the reason why they did it, because they know I'm going to say something. You know, when I tell you that I understand what it is that they do, and again, it's not on a personal level, but any sort of interaction, they'll try to engage in this behavior. Oh, now they're leaving, right? Look, they got back in the car. Yeah. How you doing?
Let's not drive. Sick. Enough of them sick, my brother. Enough of them get